A brand new update has just hit Madden 26 right ahead of the Super Bowl this weekend. Now, this is a pretty important update because they fixed a big gameplay issue. They also fixed a really big issue in franchise mode. They touched on a few other things, and they also updated the X Factor and Superstar players for the second time this year, which is pretty interesting because usually I think they wait till after the Super Bowl to do the second X Factor and Superstar update. So it's kind of nice that we got this in right before the Super Bowl. I think Drake May being in the Super Bowl maybe pushed them to update this sooner because, let's be real, with the way he's playing, he should be an X Factor player. So they did get that in the game as well. So we're going to go over everything you need to know in this update really shortly. But if you want to make sure you're always up to date with the latest Madden and college football news, especially for Madden 27, because we're going to start getting leaks for that in the coming months, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of these important videos when they go live. You know, more than half of you that watch the videos aren't subscribed, and you might not even realize it, and you could be missing out on some really important videos when I release them. Now, as we are nearing the end of the football season and kind of the end of the Madden season, we're probably not going to see too many more updates for the game. We may get one more update in March, but that'll probably be it because right now they're kind of more so on to Madden 27 and starting to implement whatever changes they're going to make there. So I wouldn't expect too much more to happen this year. This is probably going to be the last significant update of the year if I had to guess, but we could still get a smaller one later on. Now, with this update, in gameplay, this is going to be really big for people. I think even more for franchise mode or people that play against the computer. They fixed an issue where AI quarterbacks would occasionally run out of bounds despite having scramble lanes available. Now, I don't play versus the computer a whole lot, so this is not something I've ever really run into, but I have heard, I think this has been an issue for kind of multiple years maybe, so kind of a weird issue, not sure maybe why it took them so long to fix this, but sometimes AI does have these weird behaviors or issues that can sometimes be difficult to address, at least from what I've heard, but it sounds like they've got that fixed now in Madden 26, and hopefully it should be just fixed going forward. Now, they didn't list any other gameplay changes. There could be some tweaks here or there. Sometimes when they do these smaller updates especially, sometimes they don't list every little thing that they change. Sometimes whoever's writing the blog notes can overlook something, but I really wouldn't expect any major gameplay changes at this point of the year. The last two updates, they've kind of tinkered with RPOs, defensive alignment, and some other things. I don't really know if they've addressed anything else, but there always could be some other little tweaks that they did make, but I don't really think anything probably too notable at this point of the year. Now, moving on to franchise mode, they fixed a really big issue that I think just became a problem recently after one of the last updates or two. They fixed an issue where quarterback progression could take an unintended regression hit at the end of the season, primarily impacting younger QBs. And I'd seen some people talk about this on Twitter recently where at the end of the season, almost every quarterback was regressing in crazy ways, even young QBs that had won MVP and things like that. So, unfortunate bug. Sometimes it happens when they go in and update when you're dealing with game code. Sometimes one thing can have an unintended effect on something completely unrelated, and that's probably what happened, but they did get it fixed pretty quickly here at least, because sometimes these things, they linger for a while. Either they can't find the reason that it's broken, or maybe they just don't even realize it's broken yet. I don't know, but sometimes these things do linger for way too long. Kind of glad that this one got fixed pretty quickly because that really just makes franchise useless for a lot of people if every QB is hitting these crazy regressions after every season. Moving on to presentation, they fixed an occasional hitch when viewing instant replay on the Switch 2. So I don't know how many people play on the Switch 2. Probably not a lot of people, but there was a little bit of a glitch there that I had seen some people mention, so they did fix that. They also resolved an issue where the soundtrack music would not resume after completing the weekly recap. Not really the biggest deal in the world, but they did fix it. Another thing that was supposedly fixed in this update, it wasn't listed, but I was told it was going to be fixed in this update, was the Shut F7 Pro. It got added last month into the game, but apparently there was an issue with it. I don't know if it was just on field or what the case was, but something was wrong with the back of the helmet that was said to be fixed in this update, so definitely make sure to be on the lookout for that. It should be addressed now, and everything should be working properly. Now let's move on to the biggest part of the update, which are the new X Factor and Superstar players. So of course, for the Patriots, they're in the Super Bowl. They had to show them some love with both Christian Gonzalez and Drake May. Now, Christian Gonzalez should have probably already been an X Factor. He was like the second highest rated corner in the game, I think, all year. So not sure why he wasn't already, but he's got universal coverage, which is one of the better X Factors for a DB. His abilities are acrobat, one step ahead, and short route KO. So you put this guy in man defense, he's going to perform his best by far. And then for Drake May, he got his Superstar in the last update, which is just a month ago, and he was the only player that got this, and they've already already bumped him up to X Factor because, again, he ran through the playoffs, got to the Super Bowl, so kind of have to show him some love. He's got the Pro Reads X Factor, and then he's got some abilities here. Long range Deadeye, Fearless, and a sideline Deadeye, so he's going to be accurate and kind of immune to that pressure in the pocket. Rams QB Matthew Stafford also finally got moved up to an X Factor as well. Had one of his better seasons of his career, even this late into his career. So kind of had to move him up. He might wind up winning MVP. We'll have to see. It'll be probably between him or Drake May. So we'll see which way they go. He's got the Dots X Factor. And then he's also got some new abilities here. I forget which ones he had previously, but these are the ones he has now. So he probably got one or two new ones here. Set Feet Lead, a really good ability. It gives you that extra kind of throw power and velocity. So that's always really good. And this one was long overdue as well. Trey McBride, the best tight end in the league right now. I mean, he's just been going crazy. He's got the Yak 'em Up X Factor, and he's got some new abilities here. He had mid-out elite and short and elite, I think, already. So the deep and elite might be the new one. One of those is new. I can't remember. But basically, almost any route you put him on, he's going to cook. And I mean, that's what he does in real life. So that makes a lot of sense. Moving on to the new superstar players, we have Andrew Thomas of the Giants. Kind of surprised he wasn't a superstar already. He's pretty much been a really good offensive lineman for a minute now, so I don't know why, but he's got pass protector and threat detector. Threat detector, actually one of the best abilities you can have on a lineman because it shows you who's blitzing on 3rd and 4th downs. That is a huge advantage. Of course, they had to give Caleb Williams some love. He had a really good season. He made a lot of crazy plays, and they gave him the abilities that really kind of fit his play style. Agile extender and gutsy scrambler. He's going to be able to make some of those plays, avoid some of those sacks. So, I mean, it really makes sense for how he plays in real life. Of course, Jags kicker Cam Little had to get some love. He was nailing some crazy kicks all year long. He's got Zen kicker, which means anything over 45 yards, he's going to have the slow meter, which makes sense because the long field goals for him are pretty easy. Broncos wide receiver Cortland Sutton got superstar as well. Kind of surprised he didn't already have this because, I mean, he was really good last year as well. I mean, he's been good most of his career, but I mean, last year was solid. This year was good once again. He's got short out and mid out elite, so he's going to be really good on those routes. Bills lineman Dion Dawkins also got superstar. He's got fool me once and run protector, so pretty nice there for him. Another guy that should have got superstar, in my opinion, last time they did all of these about a few months ago, George Pickens. Career year, went absolutely nuts. They finally upgraded him. This time he's got acrobat, so he can make the diving catches. He's got deep out elite and mid out elite, so on those deeper routes, he's going to have better catching and better route running. J.C. Horn finally getting some love as well, one of the better corners in the league right now. He's got acrobat and medium route KO, so he's going to be able to make some better kind of interceptions and swats on the ball. Medium route KO means on medium routes he'll be better, so this is basically for man defense. So technically, he's going to have a little bit of extra juice in man defense than he will in zone because of that ability. We've got Ryan Kelly, the center for the Vikings. He's got Matador and Tear Proof, so that's going to help him against certain pass rush moves. And the Broncos defense continues to get more love this year. They've been just an absolute unit. Zach Allen, their defensive tackle, gets El Toro and interior threat. So that's going to help him on some of those pass rush moves. It's going to help the D-line out a lot. And then they've already got Nick Bonito as well. So definitely got a couple guys there on the line that can get busy. Now, there were also some players who were demoted as usual. So here are the players that previously had X Factors and now they've been bumped down. Dexter Lawrence, Jaden Daniels, Joe Mixon, and Sauce Gardner. Now, with Jaden and Joe Mixon, I kind of get it because they didn't really play a lot this year. And if a guy's been injured, hasn't played a lot, usually at the end of the year, they do demote him. So I kind of understand why they're doing that. Here are the players who had superstar and now have nothing. Aaron Jones, Andrew Van Ginkel, Brandon Sheriff, CJ Stroud, Chris Godwin, Jake Ferguson, Justin Simmons, Kenny Clark, Ladd McConkey, and L'Jarius Sneed. And for some of these players, I understand why. They either just didn't play that good this year, some of them were hurt. The one guy for sure that I'm a little confused by is Jake Ferguson. I feel like he still had a good year. Obviously, the first half of the year was way better than the second half, but I still think he was good enough to be a superstar player. Now, while you're here, we also just found out that there's a potential really big change coming to not only Madden games, but college football games. And if you want to find out what that is, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.